All right. We are live. How's everyone doing out there?
How's it going, guys? It's us again.
Yes.
We took a little break last week. We were in Ohio visiting John's mom and brother and sister-in-law and nephew.
Yep. We had a wonderful visit. Thanks, Mama, for having us.
Had a wonderful trip.
Great time.
It was awesome. But here we are back again to answer your immigration questions. I am Radlyn Mendoza, and this is my law partner and husband, John Gardner. And we are partners in law. We're married.
That's right.
We started our law firm 22 years ago in the year 2000. And when we started the law firm, we didn't have any kids. Now we have 3. And we try to come here every Wednesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to answer your immigration questions. So we're happy to be here. We are happy to be receiving your questions. And John has a couple of announcements.
Yeah, that's the thing that we like to do here most of all. We like to bring you immigration updates, and I have a brief one tonight. But mostly we want to answer your questions. We know that you all have immigration questions, and we have answers, which is a great thing. However, I do want to warn you that what we do here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not legal advice. All right. And I also want to say hello to our TikTok family over here. We join you through Facebook Live, but we also simulcast with TikTok, and we have a lot of people that come through there. So hello, everybody joining us on TikTok. Same thing. Post your questions, and we will try to get to them. I will tell you, if you're on TikTok, it is easier for us if you post them on Facebook because we can see them more easily as a block text. The questions that come through TikTok sometimes get broken into little pieces, and they're hard to put together. So if you have the opportunity to go to Facebook, we would prefer that. If you can't, then just fragment them together there on TikTok, and I'll do it.
Right. Yeah, and our Facebook page is Gardner Mendoza Law. So Gardner Mendoza, Mendoza Law. And you can find us on Facebook. And while you're here on social media, we would love it if you followed us to make sure you get all of the updates that we put out. I do want to make a quick announcement because Miss Evelina is here. Hello, Miss Evelina. I haven't seen you in a while. And I want to make an announcement that we are having Citizenship Day. We're going to have it in person here in Hampton Roads. And it is going to be on September 17th, 2022. That's a Saturday. And John and I just had a meeting with a couple of people who are going to make Citizenship Day bigger and better than ever. So yes. We are very excited about it. And Miss Evelina, who's here, she can tell you that Citizenship Day is a great event. We helped her mom with her N-400 application, and her mom recently swore in to become a U.S. citizen. So we are happy to be able to talk about that. And we're going to be talking about it for the next couple months because I would love to see all of you guys.
Just mark the date for now and keep joining us every week, and we will continue to have more updates on it and what it's all about. But for now, mark the date. And it is a great event. It really is.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know about Citizen, we'll just give you 30 seconds of it. Basically, it's immigration attorneys, professionals, paralegals, law students. We all get together and we help people in the community file for their citizenship and help them with their form N-400. So on that date, which is Constitution Day, there are going to be Citizenship Day events all over the United States. So we will definitely keep you all updated. We have a lot of people who are from the West Coast, they're from Colorado, they're just, they're from everywhere. And we are really excited that we can, just reach so many people. It's very, very cool. And we will keep you posted as the day comes. So Citizenship Day is coming. I know it seems like it's a long time from now, but it's not. It's just in a couple of months. So, we already did our disclaimer.
Yeah, right.
I was like, but John has another.
No.
Anyway, we don't have. Yeah,
I'll do the disclaimer again for those who are just now joining us. We love to answer questions here. That's the best thing we do and the thing we really enjoy. And we know that's why most of you sign on, because you've got some questions you want to answer.
I think they sign on to come see your beard.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
for
that,
sure.
That and my beard. But, but what we do here is for informational and educational purposes only. It's great information, and it's very good information, and it's very helpful information, but it is not legal advice. Okay. It is not legal advice.
There it is. Sure. There it is. There's the disclaimer.
That's the disclaimer.
All right. So I'm going to really quickly answer a question here in our comments on Facebook, but this is a comment from YouTube. So it's Adriana. She's been waiting for over 10 months for an interview in Amman, Jordan for my husband. Why is this taking so long? So Adriana, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the visa backlog, and there are, hold on to your seats, everyone, 450,000 people waiting for an interview, immigrant visas, waiting for an interview at a U.S. embassy abroad. And they're really just kind of not even putting a dent in that number. So yes, Adriana, something has got to give. And other announcements that we're going to be making in the weeks to come is we are trying to put together a class action lawsuit. If anyone is interested in getting more information about that outside of this broadcast, hit us up on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, and just write lawsuit, and we will get information to you. So 10 months, yeah, that's a really long time. It's not acceptable. And we are actually trying to do something about it with some other attorneys on the West Coast. So we will absolutely keep you posted. It's a good question, and I can hear your frustration in writing the question. I can see it. I can hear it. So
and just for those of you who may not know, hit us up is just legalese for contact us.
We have 2 teenage daughters. And an 11-year-old. So yeah, I'm spending too much time with them.
And I also want to just, this is so cool. We have people, for those of you who are not familiar with our law firm, we're situated located in Virginia Beach, Virginia, which is on the East Coast of the United States. Most of you probably know, but we do have clients, not just all over the country, but all over the world. And so if you would like our assistance with your case, we can absolutely help you no matter where you are. It doesn't matter. We do everything through Dropbox and Zoom and Messenger and everything else. So you don't need to be physically located here for us to help you. And I'm noticing here on TikTok already, we've got some folks coming in telling us aloha and greetings from other places far away, Philippines, Hawaii, so on and so forth. And
Jordan.
I love that. I always love that. Jordan, exactly. So it's cool.
Hey, we want to go to Jordan. So
that's right. Actually, somebody in our office is going to be going to Jordan.
That's right.
Very soon, like in the next month, I think, for a wedding.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, why don't we grab a question over there? Thanks for the love. Appreciate the rose.
Yeah. Okay, we'll grab one here from TikTok right out of the gate. Saikumark wants to know, I'm on an H-1B visa. What are my best options for a green card?
So best is I don't know if it's best because I don't know a lot of
how about just options?
Yeah, options. We'll just say options.
Yeah.
So option for green card is for your current employer to file a perm for you, labor certification. That would be an option. And depending on who you are, what you do, what you've published, what you've done, maybe you're a person of extraordinary ability and you can self-petition. Maybe you have something to offer in the United States and you can get a national interest waiver. So there are a couple of options for you. Admittedly, some people may feel like, hey, I don't fit into someone who could get, am I bumping?
Yeah.
Someone who can get,
something's making this.
someone who can get a national interest waiver or a person of extraordinary ability, but you don't know until an immigration attorney reviews your credentials, your resume, all that you've done. But talking about best, I think that since you already have an H-1B, it would be awesome if your company could file a labor certification for you. So those are my thoughts off the top.
All right.
And those are, again, all employment based. Of course, there's the family side. I mean, don't know marital status, but if you got married to a U.S. citizen, of course, that's a path to lawful permanent residency or permanent resident. Hopefully that answers your question. All right. I'm going to grab this question.
Yeah.
We're just go back and forth. What do we have here? Is that?
Well, it looks like some Christmas trees, but I can't tell
Are
where
those
it is.
2 dogs?
Those are 2 dogs.
I like the picture.
Yeah.
We like dogs.
Yeah.
We have 2 dogs
We
too.
play a game where we try to figure out what's in the thumbnail there.
Okay.
It's fun.
So this is Tons. Hi, my dad petitioned me since 2014. Excuse me. F2B visa. So this is unmarried son or daughter over the age of 21 of a lawful permanent resident. Dad is now sick. Yes.
And while you're, hold on, I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second because I want you, Paramich Parma, to pay attention to this because it's going to ask, you're going to answer 2 questions at the same time here. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Does someone ask
Okay.
if you and I are siblings?
Yeah,
We are not
Not
siblings.
Okay. But yeah, there was almost an identical F2 question. So I just want
Okay.
to give you a heads up. Pay attention because this is answering your question too.
All right. So we have high hope. Okay, dad is sick. We have high hopes he will recover, but we have to be prepared. Is there any way that we can include my mom, who is with him in the U.S., as my petitioner too? If yes, will it affect the time duration of my petition? Thank you. So unfortunately, we can't include your mom as a petitioner at this point in time. She can file a petition for you, but unfortunately, that priority date is going to be 2022. If that happened, mom can file a petition right now for you. It doesn't matter if you have one pending, but she cannot be, unfortunately, just added on to the petition. I am sorry to say. I hope that your dad recovers, but you are right to be thinking that you have to be prepared. That's true, but mom cannot be added to the petition.
Can you add any general information about just time status of those cases generally?
Yeah, sure. This is a great time to go over processing times. We went over this 2 weeks ago. They are processing times from, I looked at it on June 22nd of this year, of course. And so processing times for fiancé visas right now, the I-129F, not fiancé visas. That's a lot of people say, hey, what are the processing times for fiancé visas? The processing time for the first step of a fiancé visa, which is to file the I-129F, is taking about 13 months right now. So if you are a U.S. citizen and you are petitioning for your parent, spouse, or unmarried child under the age of 21, I'm going to go over all the service centers. California Service Center is processing at 9.5 months. That's much better than it was in the recent past. Nebraska Service Center, 6 months. Potomac Service Center, 12 months. Texas Service Center, 11.5 months. And Vermont, 15 months. If you are a lawful permanent resident, and what categories? This is the 2A category for spouses and unmarried children under the age of 21. California is 24.5 months. So you see it's much longer than the 9.5 months if you're a U.S. citizen. Nebraska Service Center is the same at 6 months. Potomac Service Center is 30 months. Wow. Texas is 5. And Vermont is 29. And that's if you are a lawful permanent resident petitioning for your family members in the F2A category. So hopefully that information is helpful. We do get a lot of questions about how long it's going to take. Again, remember, guys, this is how long it takes to get the I-130 petition approved, right?
So Amira, who's here on TikTok, asking about Nebraska Service Center.
For what family member?
6 months.
Spouse is 6, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a permanent resident petitioning for a spouse, it's 6 months as well. And I see my mom.
We have a VIP.
Hi, Mama.
We have a VIP joining us right now.
Mom, I was gonna text you to remind you to watch tonight. But here you are. But I thought about it, so here you are. Great to see you.
Yep.
Miss you too. We'll be seeing you soon.
Yep. We will be seeing you pretty soon for sure.
Yeah.
In the fall, if not sooner.
Okay, so there's a follow-up question from Adriana. She says, can you explain the lawsuit again? I like how you put that in quotes. It is kind of like in quotes, lawsuit.
Yeah.
So sometimes attorneys, immigration lawyers, and other attorneys have to file a lawsuit in order to, but specifically immigration attorneys. So we've had to file lawsuits to sue USCIS. We've had to sue State Department in order for that to compel them to do their jobs and, schedule that interview. So that's what I mean when we talk about lawsuit. And class action lawsuit is, I've never, filed or been involved in handling class action lawsuit. But that's when, can you explain what a class action lawsuit is?
Yeah, I mean, in the immigration context, it's a little bit, it's a pretty novel idea. But essentially, a class action lawsuit is when you have a group of plaintiffs who are all similarly situated, in fact, identically situated, who rather than individually filing, they form a class. If they're all in the same situation, they're all asking for the same thing, and the court could grant relief that would, one form of relief that would be able to satisfy all of them the same. So basically, in an immigration context, we've been talking about these are cases that are completely stalled out, and occasionally we do have to file a lawsuit in federal court to compel immigration to take action on the matter, and we've had a lot of success with those. They tend to get approved very quickly after that happens, but it's a really scary process, especially it's not scary for the lawyers, but it's scary for the clients because most people don't want to sue the federal government. I mean, I don't blame you. It's people think, well, gosh, that's going to cause trouble, or boy, then they're really going to be after me, and that kind of thing. And that's a natural feeling. So it's not something that we take lightly, but sometimes it is necessary. But one of the things that we have been exploring is creating an entire class of folks who are similarly situated, who have the same problem, and filing as one class.
Yeah.
And picking one federal court. And as you know, or maybe you don't know, if one federal judge anywhere in the country issues an order, it affects the entire country. So one federal judge can grant relief, stop relief, overturn a law, reinstate a law, all these things until it goes to a court of appeals and ultimately gets litigated through the Supreme Court if it goes that far. So that's what we're talking about.
I think it'd be a good segue to talk about what you want to talk about with regard to DACA.
Yeah, very briefly. We have more questions coming in here, but keep your questions. I did have one update because I've been getting a lot of questions from folks about DACA. As most of you or many of you may know, currently, if you have DACA, you can continue to review your DACA. Renew your DACA, excuse me. I got thrown off here.
Sorry.
The screen went.
I'm messing. I'm doing something.
Yeah, it kind of jogged my brain for a second.
My bad.
If you have DACA, you can currently renew DACA, but a federal judge put a halt to new DACA cases, holding that the DACA program that had originally started in 2012, a federal judge in the Fifth Circuit ruled that it was unconstitutional the way that it was imposed in the first place, and therefore there should be no more cases. But he didn't shut it down completely. What he did was he said those who have DACA can continue to renew it, but no new DACA cases can be filed. And today, of course, that ruling was appealed, and so it went up to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, and a 3-judge panel today heard oral arguments in that case. And essentially, the current administration is arguing that the ruling is incorrect, that the DACA new applications should be reinstated. The case had originally been brought by a series of states, led by Texas, who were arguing that it was unconstitutional. And the oral arguments were today. And basically, again, the administration is arguing that DACA should just be reinstated completely and new applications should start flowing immediately. The plaintiffs in the case, Texas and the other states, were arguing that it should not, because it was unconstitutional from the get-go. Interestingly, in my opinion, as a person who watches these things, the government, the administration's primary argument dealt with the fact that they said that Texas and the other states did not have standing, meaning they were not in a position to be making these arguments, that they're not affected by DACA, and therefore they don't have what's called standing in the law. That concerns me as a court watcher a little bit, because it means that that's where they think the weakness of the case is, rather than the merits of the case. In other words, it tells me that they may be concerned that if Texas and the other states do have standing, which the lower court, the first judge ruled that they did, that the merits of the case might actually be in favor of those states. Otherwise, they would have, I think, argued more strongly against the merits of the case rather than the standing issue. But where it can go from here is we'll get a ruling probably sometime later this year, and a couple things could happen. They could rule in favor of either side, and whoever wins or loses, the losing side, I guarantee you, is going to appeal. And then the case can either go to the full Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is called an en banc appeal. So this was just a 3-judge panel in the Fifth Circuit. It would go to the full Fifth Circuit, or the full Fifth Circuit could decline to hear it en banc, in which case the matter would get appealed up to the Supreme Court. And then the Supreme Court could do a couple of things. They could grant cert, which is meaning that they would agree to hear the case, and then they'd have oral arguments, or they could just refuse to hear it, and that's the end of it for the time being. So they don't have to hear cases of the Supreme Court. So sorry to kind of totally geek out on you there with the court stuff, but I'm watching it, and I'll keep you posted if anything, if there are any rulings, any decisions, anything that affects any of our clients involving DACA. It's, DACA in the huge scheme of things is a pretty narrow group, but it's still a lot of people. We're talking probably about 620,000 people that would be affected by this one way or the other, which is a big number. And these are especially sympathetic cases. I can tell you, we do a fair amount of them. And so we're watching it closely. I will keep you up to date. All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did that and not me. I would have been talking for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to unpack there, but I try to keep it as quickly as possible. All right.
All right. So where do we get the last question? I'm going to go back and forth.
Okay. Well, this is a TikTok question. I don't know if we know an answer to this. You might. I'm on asylum. So there's somebody who has asylum, and they got a job offer, and the company has asked for their visa status, and they're curious whether they should tell the employer that they have asylum.
So have they been granted asylum? Are they an asylee already? So there's a difference between someone who has been granted an asylum, they are work authorized, or someone who is waiting to have their day in front of the asylum officer. You also may be work authorized, depending on how long you've been waiting to get your case heard. So if you have work authorization, I don't know why it would be an issue if you told your employer that you were, as long as you're work authorized, I don't see the problem. I don't know. The question is, should I tell my employer if I have applied for asylum and waiting for asylum, or if I'm already have been granted asylum? As long as you're work authorized, I don't know why they would need to know that additional information. You complete the I-9 and submit your documents for them to review, which could be, your driver's license, your work permit, or your social security number, the documents that are on that list. So whether you should tell them or not, I don't know the answer to that question, but you are eligible to work if you have the EAD card that is current.
That's right.
Is that a good answer?
That's a great answer.
Okay,
Yeah,
great. Thank you. All right. Okay. Efren says, where's he? Where's Efren? We don't know. Where are you?
I can't tell.
What are those buildings?
Yes.
We want to know. We like to look at the profile photo. Okay. Do you know how long is the wait for spousal visa in the Philippines? I will be getting married soon, and we decided the spousal visa. So congratulations on getting married soon.
It's wonderful. Good for you.
And look, I have it right up here. So Efren, it's hard for me to tell you how long it's going to take for the spousal visa. I can tell you we just went over the processing times for each of the service centers. If you missed that, go back, 10, 15 minutes into this video and you can hear the processing times. Again, I just want to remind everyone that when we talk about processing times for the I-130 petition, we are only talking about the very first part of the case. That is just to file that I-130 petition and get it lodged in with USCIS. If your spouse is abroad, there are a couple of other steps that take a lot of time also. So if your I-130 petition is at the Nebraska Service Center and you see processing times like 6 months, sweet, my spouse is going to be here in 6 months. That is not going to be the case, especially with the interview backlogs that we just spoke about. It could take a couple of years. So no, that's just the reality. I've always hated to be the person giving someone bad news or bursting bubbles, but with these processing times, I've had to do that a lot lately, and it's never been a comfortable thing for me, even though I've been doing it for a long time. But it's better to know, what you're facing, the type of time that it's going to take, the timeline, than to not know and just think, oh yeah, my wife is going to be here, my husband's going to be here in 12 months. That's probably not going to be the case. So hopefully I'm wrong. Maybe you'll have a speedy case that goes through really quickly, but we are watching the numbers and we're going to see what the State Department does about all these interviews that need to be scheduled. Maybe they'll start waiving some of them. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but good question.
Yeah, we've got a lot of timing questions over here, and I hope folks who have these timing questions are paying attention because they're all very similar. Here's one that's a little outside the normal questions we get. What if I want dual citizenship? I'm an American, but I want to live part-time in the Dominican Republic. Do you happen to know?
No. So I only know about dual citizenship for the Philippines. I don't know about dual citizenship or getting dual citizenship or how one would get dual citizenship in Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I don't either.
Sorry. Apologize about that. Yeah. So Vaughn, hello, Vaughn. Great to see you. He says, I am a K-1 petitioner. There are multiple types of tax transcripts that I can request online from the IRS for the I-134 affidavit of support. Which one should I choose?
And Vaughn, I'm sure Burlington is absolutely gorgeous right now. It's in full summer swing up there.
Yeah. Our daughter goes to college in Burlington.
Yep.
So, Vaughn, I'm not aware of the multiple types of tax transcripts that are available on IRS, but I will say that what they want to see is that, your annual income and, basically what you made. And so that's kind of the bottom line as far as the I-134 is concerned, and even the 864. So hopefully that helps, whichever one. And I'm guessing all of them probably show that, but I don't know, which one. I mean, we get tax transcripts from our clients, but we also submit just the 1040 that has been electronically filed as well. So tax transcripts is not necessary per se, because we have successfully just submitted the actual form 1040. Hopefully that helps. All right, got one over there?
Well, no, something happened here. We just
it says swipe right for more comments. I don't know if that's true or not. You want to try it? Oh, look at that.
Right, let's see. I'm all the way. Let me.
But it's actually easier to
it's
see
easier
them.
to see it is. Yep.
All right. Let's see here.
I'm trying to get back up to the beginning here because I wanted to, we have a rule here that we answer the questions in the order that they come in.
We try. Anyway, it's a lot easier to do on Facebook. All right. So while you're looking at that, Zara says, hello there. Hi. How long to get an appointment and interview in U.S. Embassy in the Philippines? It's been 6 months. When the National Visa Center reviewed my application, everything is approved. So, Zara, if you've been with us for a couple of minutes, or even from the beginning of this is what we've been talking about, and this really is the overarching concern of so many people who are on TikTok or on Facebook or on social media. Just like, when is my interview going to be scheduled? You've been waiting 6 months. Someone from Jordan has been waiting. I can't remember. That was only a few minutes ago, but I can't remember how many. It's around this, like nine months that she's been waiting. Some people we know have been waiting. The comments are all over the place with regard to how long people have been waiting, and I don't know when you're going to have your interview. Unfortunately, the U.S. Embassy is one of the most backlogged U.S. Embassy in the Philippines, in Manila, is one of the most backlogged ones. And so we are watching it very closely. Zara, if you want to join our Facebook immigration group, Live Love Immigration, Ria, hopefully you're there. I'm sure you are. Hello, if you are.
Mm-hmm.
Ria is our virtual assistant from the Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
and she will pin the group to the comments, and you can either go there and message us, and just if anyone here, if you're on TikTok, if you're on the live stream right now, just message us lawsuit, and we will get information out to you. It's developing right now. We're thinking about filing a lawsuit, class action lawsuit. All right.
And a couple things over here. I am blessed 29 says, love watching you.
Thank you.
We're blessed to have all of you tuning in. Thanks for joining us. And T Trujillo 1 has a question that's repeated several times, but involves basically addressing what his or her lawyer has told her. And we're going to steer clear of that. If you have an immigration lawyer handling your case, we really prefer to not get into second guessing what the advice they're giving you. They're your attorney. I would strongly urge you to just take your questions to them. If you decide you don't want them to represent you anymore, you can always change lawyers. But as long as you have counsel, we're going to steer clear of analyzing what your lawyer has told you. That's all.
All right. So Adriana has asked us to provide our firm contact information. So it's on the screen right now. For those of you on TikTok, our phone number is 757-464-9224. You can send us an email to info@gmlaw.net. Yeah, that's a .net, not a .com.
Mm-hmm.
We're not cool. We're not cool enough to have a .com. But anyway, it's info@gmlaw.net. You can also send us a message through Messenger. A lot of people send us messages through Messenger, but text our number, call our number. We can grab your information, and as we develop this lawsuit, we will be getting in touch with you, because we need people for the class, and we want to help you guys, and hopefully get you to an interview. All right.
You fourth or fifth, high attorneys. A tourist in the U.S. wants to study. When should F1 be filed? Fourth or fifth?
The tourist in the United States wants to study. When should the F1 be filed? Fourth or fifth? So I don't really understand what the question, the fourth or fifth question is, but
confused about that.
So here's the the rule, or the guideline. I should say the guideline. And again, this is for informational purposes only. I'm not giving out legal advice. We're not giving out legal advice tonight. It's for informational and educational purposes only. So if you come into the United States, right, and you're walking through the Norfolk International Airport, and that is the airport where we are, and
it's a lovely airport. It's small, but it's really nice.
Yeah, great. And then you see this billboard. And so, when you come in at the port of entry, you say, yeah, I'm coming to visit my auntie in Virginia Beach and cousins, right? And it's like, okay, great. So you come in, you're coming into the Norfolk International Airport, and you see this huge billboard that Old Dominion University has up. This is a school here in our area. And they have a great oceanography program. I mean, it's all about oceanography, this billboard. And like, I love oceanography. That looks really cool. And at that moment, you was like, it would be really cool to go to ODU and study oceanography. Let me talk to ODU and see what that's all about. Like, remember, you've just stepped off of the airplane. You just told a port of entry officer you're here to visit your auntie and your cousins. But now you see this ODU billboard that you've never seen before because you've never visited Virginia Beach. You're like, that looks really cool. I'm going to go find out. You go and find out, and it's something that can work for you. Your family can afford it. You can stay at your auntie's house. It's just really just playing out well for you to study at ODU in the fall. This question is, when should we file the change of status from B2 to F1? When should we file?
They added the 4th or 5th month.
Okay. When should we file that? The I-539, the I-539. The issue is when you come into the United States on a tourist visa, okay, you cannot have the intent to change over to an F1 because that's not permissible. You have told the consular, the port of entry officer that, hey, I'm coming here to visit my aunt and cousins. So if you came and you knew you were going to go to ODU on this tourist visa, and you told this port of entry officer, yeah, I'm coming to visit my aunt, and then as soon as you got here in the first month, you changed and you filed for an I-539 to go to ODU, that would be impermissible, and that could come back to haunt you. You filed so quickly, you made a misrepresentation, and there could be some issues. But with my first scenario, you had the intent to visit your aunt and your cousin, but it was just like you saw this at the airport and it piqued your interest. You never thought about studying the United States until you saw this Old Dominion University oceanography program, and that's when you changed your mind. It's okay to change your mind after you've entered the United States. So that is a really, really long scenario, but
yeah, we may seem like we're splitting hairs here, but when you're dealing with the law, there's a lot of hair splitting that goes on. And as Radlin's saying, the intent is really important. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, right.
You can't, if you change your mind, that's one thing. If your intent is to get in a certain way, knowing that, hey, once I'm in, I'm going to then switch what I'm doing, and that comes to light, that's a problem.
Right. And I know all of you guys are like, these lawyers are idiots, as if we would actually tell them our true intent. The government can't read our mind. That is all true and everything, but we are just letting you know that is what the law is. We're not stupid.
Yeah,
we are stupid sometimes, but we're not stupid when it comes to, we understand what some people may do and be thinking and got it. But to answer your question, even if someone has come in on the B1, B2 in the first couple of days, they've changed their mind about why they want to be here because of something they've seen or something that someone told us. We do not like to file anything within the first 90 days of entering the United States. Hopefully that answers the question. Yep.
And this intent issue comes up in a lot of different places. One of them, of course, is with marriages. You got a similar situation. If you're coming to marry your boyfriend and you say, I'll just get a tourist visa, and then once I'm in, that's my plan. That's a whole different thing than if you come here as a tourist and then meet somebody and then decide, oh gosh, we should get married.
Right.
That's okay.
Or even if you come into the United States to come see your boyfriend, so long as that's something, if you're point blank asked why you're here and you say, I'm here to see my boyfriend. Okay, have a great trip. And proposes in the airport. That's actually happened.
Mhm.
That's a little bit of a different situation. We've had clients where, that the person that they were visiting got sick. And so they fully intended to go back to their country, had a round trip ticket, but their partner got sick and they wanted to stay. So there are many, many different scenarios.
Yeah. Just be careful. What we see is sometimes, where trouble can come up is things like, no, I'm here to visit my aunt in New York, except you never go to New York. You just go straight to Atlanta and visit
Get
your
married.
boyfriend and get married.
Right.
So,
So that's a material misrepresentation.
Right. So just
at the port of
that's
entry.
what we're warning against. Okay. All right.
All right. Let me grab Claudette's question.
Okay.
We spent a lot of time on that,
Yep.
but I think it was important.
Well, the intent thing is, kind of like the criminal thing. Once we get on it, we really want to make sure we drive it home because, oh, look at that. That looks lovely. Is that?
I don't know where that is. First of all, I can't see. it's too far.
Yeah,
it's too little.
It looks like the streets of like Cartagena or somewhere, but could be.
Did I just do that?
No, I did that.
Sorry, TikTok. We keep bumping our table, and
yeah,
I told you to get a better. We should have gotten a better stand. All right. So Claudette says we are same sex. We are planning to marry in Vegas soon. As soon as I visit in the United States. Is she allowed to file for H-4 for me while I'm in the state, or will there be a conflict? So this is going to exactly the same thing that we just discussed. So I feel like we've answered this question.
Yeah.
Claudette, I think
Claudette, were you listening? Hopefully, sorry, we didn't see your question there. We kind of veered into it without seeing it yet, and hopefully you can just hit rewind if you need to. And not rewind.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh. Somebody was born in the 70s.
I just outed my age. Sorry.
Rewind that, Claudette. Rewind that.
Yeah.
Okay. See, it's 15 minutes till the end of this, and we're kind of going crazy. But anyway, so yeah, just I think that we answered this question. I would say that just listen to that again.
Yeah. For those of you who are old enough to remember, you had options. You could hit stop and then rewind, or you could just hit rewind while the play was still pushed, and it made this like crazy noise as it was going backward.
Right.
Okay, we grab one.
Yeah, this was exactly the same issue, Claudette, that we just spoke about. So be careful.
Jesse says, I just got my citizenship last May.
Yay, congrats.
Congratulations.
Fantastic.
That's awesome. I want to petition my parent. Can I petition them now?
Yes, you can. You can. Congratulations. Yep. You can and you should. Sorry, I'm making it.
You can and you should. Upward and onward. Go for it.
Yep. And we can help with that if you don't want to deal with it. Right. It's one of our, are we allowed to say specialties?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. It's one of our specialties. The bar rules, there are a bunch of rules on what we can and can't say. But
yeah, we do a lot of those cases though. A lot.
Specialty. I'll say specialty. All right. Let's see here. Resume says, hi, I'm a beneficiary from Philippines. Our case is ready. The immigrant visa unit sent an email last May 2022 that I am eligible to schedule a visa interview. Nice. That's awesome. Can I make an appointment even without the packet 3, or should I wait for it because St. Luke's Medical will ask about the letter? So that question is really getting into the weeds, and I don't know the answer to that. I often tell our team to just err on the side of just trying to get the appointment and get it on the books. That way it's on the books. But again, whether or not you're going to have to reschedule that or kind of get derailed because you don't have a packet 3, I don't know. But we try to err. And again, this is what we do. And I'm telling you that this is what you should do. We really just try to err on getting that interview scheduled. All right. Hopefully that helps. Congratulations. I would love to know. We would love to know. The community would love to know, how long did it take for you to be called in for an interview? Like, how long were you waiting at NBC? What if she says like 2 months? You're going to get a lot of, just tell us, because it would be helpful. All right. Want to grab one from there?
Yeah, so we have a good one here. Question: if my daughter is a single mother with 3 kids, and I'm in the process for a petition, can I do her kids?
Wait, now.
I need to add some in there.
What was the
So
question?
if my daughter, she's a single mother with 3 kids,
Okay.
and it says on the process for petition, can I do her kids? I think we can figure out what she means
I see what you mean. So if you are petitioning for your daughter, she's single, if her kids are under the age of 21, yes, there's only one petition, and those 3 kids will be on that petition. And when it comes time, when a visa becomes available, when they go to the National Visa Center stage, then you would be uploading the birth certificates and completing the DS-260s for the children, as well as your daughter, as well as paying for the fees for those additional children. So that would be happening at the National Visa Center stage, but make sure you put the children on the I-130 petition. All right. Let's see here. Robin. Hi, Robin. My conditional green card was stolen and I can't afford to get a new one. What do I do? Please help. You can potentially, if you can't afford, you can potentially ask for a fee waiver. Now, I'm not super familiar with fee waivers, but there is a form. I can't even think of what the form is because we don't do a lot of fee waivers. Our managing attorney actually has done a lot of fee waivers, but I'm just trying to think of whether the I-90 you're eligible to do I-90 fee waiver. So Robin, you can potentially do a fee waiver. I'm not sure about that, but that's an option for you. If you don't need your green card, then you could wait until you file your I-751. Whether you can afford that or not, you have to file it. And again, there may be a fee waiver available. I just don't know what forms the fee waivers are available for. So those are 2 options for you. Sorry that your card got stolen, but if you don't need that conditional green card for identification, if you don't need it for work authorization, if you don't need it for traveling outside of the United States and being able to come back in, or your driver's license, then you may be able to wait to file your I-751. That all said, I believe the law is still on the books that lawful permanent residents must carry their green card on them, their lawful permanent resident card. But I do not believe that it is enforced. So I just wanted to add that because I don't want, Robin comes back next week. He's like, I didn't carry my green card on me, and I got I've never heard that happening. It's like the USCIS is too busy to be even dealing with that. So hopefully that has helped, Robin, and check out the fee waiver.
All right. Do you want to take a processing time question, or would you prefer to just direct them to where they can find these processing
What's the question?
times? Green card for a sibling who is married, 21 years older. So
yeah, it's long. So that's got to check the visa bulletin for that. Google visa bulletin. It's July 2022. Visa bulletin will pop up, and you will be able to go to F4 category in the family chart and what country, and see how long it takes for a visa to become available. There was a question here that I really wanted to answer. Right. Let me.
So did you get that, Samantha? That's basically these processing times are controlled by the visa bulletin, and you've got to just go figure out based on what their relationship is and the fact that they're married, they're 21 years old, they're a sibling, so on and so forth.
Yeah. There was a really good question. I wanted to answer it because I think it could help. Oh, here we go. Soleimani, I'm sorry that we just kind of went right over yours. I saw it and I wanted to answer it. Okay. Yeah. Soleimani says, hi, I'm a green card holder. I petitioned for my wife with 2 kids. They are in Africa. Can I apply for citizenship after, or do I have to wait for them to come here? I pled one case for all. All right.
That's a great question.
It's a really great question, and a lot going on here. And before I answer this question, I want to just again mention, if you guys need some extra help, if you would like to have a consultation, you can give our office a call at 757-464-9224, or you can reach out to us through our email address, which is info@gmlaw.net. Our office is located on the East Coast of Virginia, but we serve clients in all 50 states and, of course, all around the world. We are an immigration, global immigration law firm. So this is a complicated question because maybe some people will say it's not complicated. But when you are a green card holder, okay, and you have your spouse and your children under 21 unmarried, your children unmarried under 21 can go on your spouse's I-130 petition. Okay. If you, and this is just one petition, just like Soleimani is saying here, I applied one case for all. If you are a U.S. citizen, you have to file a petition for your spouse, a petition for your one kid, and then another petition for your other kid. So you have to file 3 I-130 separate petitions. So Soleimani wants to know, hey, I want to apply for citizenship. Do I have to wait for them to come here? No. Number one, you do not have to wait for you don't have to wait for them to come here. But if you file for citizenship and you become a citizen, you would have to file 2 separate petitions for your kids. So that's why you're asking that question. Because you then have to file separate petitions for your kids. Your wife, you'd be able to just, tell USCIS or the National Visa Center, wherever the case is, that, hey, I'm a U.S. citizen now. Here's my certificate of naturalization, quote unquote, upgrade the petition, or adjust the petition. I don't want to say upgrade. But for the kids, you'd have to file the I-130 petition. Now, a potential solution, if you just want to apply for citizenship and do it, because it is taking a long time to apply for citizenship. In most cases, it's taken over a year. You may want to file an I-130 petition for each of your kids, even though you already have filed that for your spouse, and even though they're, underneath your spouse's case. That way, if you become a U.S. citizen, or when you become a U.S. citizen, you can also just kind of adjust your status with, I don't want to say adjust your status, but inform USCIS and the National Visa Center that you are now a U.S. citizen and you would like them to, make that update in the file. So should you do that? I don't know. It's time-wise, looking at how long it takes for lawful permanent residents to petition for their spouses, how long it takes that I-130 petition. For if it goes to Vermont, it's 29 months. If it goes to California, it's 9.5 months. 24.5 months. If you are a U.S. citizen, it's 9.5 months. If you're a U.S. citizen in Vermont, it's 15. So, and there's also the possibility, guys, of course, that the F2A category may retrogress, and there may be a cutoff date for the F2A category. If there's a cutoff date, that means that they're not current, and you have to wait until it reaches your priority date. So it's tough to say. I would love to discuss it more if you'd like to make an appointment, and we can come to that decision together and what is best. But again, I can't say right now. We would have to just kind of analyze it and see what you're comfortable with, and just take a look at the trends. So hopefully that helps. Soleimani, I really wanted to answer that question because it was a really good question. All right. I'm going to grab another question.
I think we have some more. Okay. So we have here, G-Play says, my wife doesn't have a document, and I was trying to figure this out. She came to America for a visit and I marry her. Can she stay here? And so when she says doesn't have a document, I'm assuming that by that you mean that she entered the country and she was undocumented when
Right.
she entered. And then they got married, and now they want to know what their options are.
Yeah. So, I mean, it depends on a couple of different factors, you know, whether she can stay. What is your status? Have you ever been in the military? Has anyone ever filed a petition before her on or before April 30th of 2001? Has anyone filed a petition for her parents on or before April 30th, 2001, prior to her reaching the age of 21? So there are questions that we would ask to see whether there would be anything that we can do. Are you eligible? Is she eligible for provisional waiver, perhaps? So lots of different options that we would have to explore. Really great question. But the answer is maybe.
Yeah. And that's assuming that we're reading that correctly. If she entered and was with documentation when she was documented when she came in, like on some sort of other visa and then overstayed it, or you just got married while she was here, then that's a whole different situation.
Yeah,
that's a much easier situation, but I'm assuming you meant undocumented there. Okay.
So Henryson, I'm just going to throw this up really quickly. My wife's case has been documentary and qualified since January of 2022. When do you think she will be scheduled for an interview? Again, Henryson, if you missed some of this, reach out to us. We are looking to file a class action lawsuit for these cases that have been languishing. Is that the right word?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier.
All right. So Neshi says, and these are folks from YouTube. Welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I am in Massachusetts and would like to know where my I-130 and I-485 file is. I recently uploaded RFE and did so to Lee Summit, Missouri. Can you please tell me where my field office is? Your field office. Your field office could be Boston. I don't know of any other field offices in Massachusetts. That doesn't mean that there are any, but what you should do is go to USCIS, Google USCIS processing times, put in the form when you get to the page, put in form just click down and choose I-485, and then click down, and you'll see all the field offices in the United States, and you can find yours. So hopefully that helps. Race. Good morning, Marinina. Great to see you.
My friend says Chicago. I don't know. Thank you, Efrain. We'd ask where he was. That's in Chicago. Cool. Appreciate that. That's what those buildings were. Here's our timekeeper.
Okay, here's our timekeeper. Let me grab this question. Do we have any questions over there?
We've got lots of them.
Well, grab one because I've been getting all of the ones from here, and I want to grab one from TikTok. So Ray's here. Ray's our 11-year-old daughter, and say hi, Ray.
Hi.
And she comes and tells us when it's 9:00, when it's time for dinner.
So these folks have a pending case and want to know, can my husband go to another country to wait for the approval? We applied in July 2021. We're still waiting. So
can my husband go to another country to wait for the approval applied?
I don't know what kind of case that is.
Right, and is just going to visit or moving, or if you move to another country and you're lawfully living in that country, then you can get your case transferred to another country. But sometimes the transfer itself can take some time, and but it may, depending on the country. If you're moving from Manila, Philippines, to London, then most likely your case is going to be faster because there are not as many cases coming out of London. All right. I just want to answer this question really quick.
I think the heart of this question was, while the case is pending, do I have to stay here, or do I have to, or can he go somewhere else?
Gotcha. If you go somewhere else and you move there permanently, then you need to transfer the case.
Yeah.
All right. So Belma, Ray's ready for 2 thumbs up. All right, Ray. Hold on a second. You're bumping the table. Move back. This coming October, I've been in America for 5 years. I would have liked to apply for citizenship, but got married to a U.S. citizen last year. Now I don't know what to do because my last name has changed. So if your last name has changed and you apply for U.S. citizen, is a great question. Just put your new name on your N400, and where it says list other names used, you list all your other names that you've used, right? All right. So that will be the last question. So meet us. So we've been having kind of like every other week live stream because of our travels, and we do have a conference next Wednesday as well.
We just flew through Chicago 3 days ago, our friend.
Yes, that was crazy.
Chicago is a huge city. I've forgotten how big it's gotten.
So we will probably not be here next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that. But we'll absolutely keep you posted. So please follow us, like us, join our Live Love Immigration page, and we will see you the next time we see you. Here is Ray.
Thanks to all of you joining us on TikTok. Get here early if you can, so you can get your
love all the questions. They were all so great.
Great questions.
2 thumbs up.
All right, everyone. Have a
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.